Hello, Street Fighter fans. So today we're back at another subscriber request trial. I'm not gonna lie to you, this one is not easy. It took me about a day and a half of re-practicing this one to figure it out. And even when I figured it out, was able to pull it off, I still didn't know why or how. It was more luck, but I did sort of figure out some tips and tricks that might actually help you with Akuma Season 5 Trial Number 2. So a few things to go over before we go through the demonstration. Actually, we'll go through the demonstration first, and then I'll go over a couple things that try to make you understand how this combo works. So we'll show the demonstration. Okay, so if you're looking to the left for the commands, there's a crouch medium counter followed by his raising hand there, followed by V skill, canceling into a fireball, the big fireball, the big red one, the half circle back, and then into the V skill or V trigger, followed up by a Tatsu, and then canceled into the Dragon Punch, and then into his critical art. So there is a lot of fast timing here, but it's not a mad dash to get each of them done. Like there's a flow to it that's the pacing breaks. Like you got to break the pacing almost every few minutes. It took me a while to figure it out. So just to go over a couple of things, there's three things. So when you're doing that backwards fireball, there's three speeds. So you have your slow, which is using your light punch, which is a bit of a higher frame startup. Then there's your medium, which obviously is a little bit faster. And then there's your fierce. So keeping those in mind, going from your V skill, this will be individual, I think. I tried it with all of them, and at first I was hitting him out of the air with the slow, and then as I got a little bit better, I switched to the medium because I was able to hit him there, and then when I was finally able to get this about 50% of the time, I was using the fierce one for the speed, because the trick you have to understand is with this V skill, this also is variable. So if you just tap your V skill, you'll see how he stomps and there's a little bit of flames, but you can actually hold it longer, and he holds the position longer. And in that whole time, while even still holding it, you can cancel out of it into that backwards fireball. So you don't have to hold it for that long, because it's hard to hold the V skill down and pull off that fireball at the same time. But that's just to let you know that you cancel out of that V skill with that fireball at any time while you're holding it, or while he's in that mode. So that'll be one thing to sort of help out with that. So to start practicing this one, and doing the medium counter to that weird upper thing. This one messes me out too, because you're going from that, and then you see that he pulls back. Now, what I do to sort of keep it, because sometimes you'll. Now I can't do it now, of course. Sometimes you'll just hit once like that. So you got to be in pretty deep, and I find either holding the fierce when you're deep enough helps, but then you got to switch over to that V skill pretty trick. So what you want to really make sure is that you stall doing that the V skill to make sure he gets both those hits in. So you want to make sure you really make sure that you're getting that, confirming that that second hit's going in there. And sometimes it won't. So you got to be relatively quick with that medium counter, crouch medium counter to that back hard punch. It's got to be a pretty fast motion, so you're not getting that pushback. Because if you notice when he crouches, he pushes back a lot. And if you're just a little bit outside the range, if I could just recreate it, you only hit once. So you want to make sure that you're pretty deep in on that one. So once you can get that pretty consistently, you want to add in that the V skill. Now the thing is with the V skill, that's easy to hit. You can hit that any way. You can either hold it, you could just do it quick. But what I found works to help develop the timing and the muscle memory is you want to hold it for a little bit longer than you think. So to be able to link it in with that fireball. And as you see there, and that's going to be the biggest problem too, and I'm going to do this a lot during this video, so it's probably going to be a longer video, is that you're going to miss that fireball a lot. And then missing that fireball, even hitting it sometimes, if the timing isn't right, you're not going to be able to get into his V trigger. Because, and I don't know why, this one I haven't figured out, but you have to V trigger as the fireball's hitting him on the way down. So you almost want to, it's tricky, it's even tricky to analyze it now. You want to sort of make sure Ryu's on his way down, but you want to be holding that V trigger until you're ready to actually start the activation for that red fireball. Yeah, as you see, so I'm doing it too soon, so I'm going to switch it to the light punch. Like I was saying earlier about those speeds, I'm going to try to switch that to the light punch to see if that's better with my pacing right now. As I get better, I might have to switch it again, but... See, there's the hit with the light punch, because it's a slower startup, so it gives me a little more time as he's going through the air. It's a little more forgiving. But then again, I'm trying to hit my V trigger and it's not activating because the timing is slightly off. So there, my timing is way off, and that's going to be probably people's biggest headaches. My timing's off after practicing it for a few minutes and taking a break. So I'm going to try it again. For a few minutes here, and I'll edit out some if it gets too long. Now, say I hit my V trigger too late there. So as you see there, I got it. So I was playing around with the fireball strengths, and that's when I eventually got it. So what I'm doing when he's doing the upwards, I'm holding that. I'm playing around with the timing on that medium, or sorry, on the V skill. I'm playing around with the timing, either holding it a little longer or a little shorter. So there's really no explanation as to what exactly to do, other than you have to play for how it feels for your pacing. And once you start figuring out the timing for that V skill, to the fireball, to the V trigger, which is the hardest part of this combo, getting the rest in, getting that medium Tatsu in with that dragon punch is just, it's like any other combo really. You have a lot of time in between that Tatsu and that uppercut, because he does hit him in the air, and then it's just going in for, it's going in to cancel into that critical art. So as you see there, I held on too long. I still did the motion of the fireball, but it didn't come out fast enough because I was holding on too long. So then you got to sort of play with that timing. And then even once you do start hitting the fireball, the timing is again weird, getting into that critical art. So the biggest part to practice this is just those first 5 moves. Don't worry about the Tatsu and the uppercut yet, because you'll eventually be able to get... Oops. You could just practice this if you want. Oh, I don't think you can link those two actually, unless he's on fire there. Huh. Maybe if he's in... Oh, okay. So once you at least maybe you can without it, but maybe he has to be in V trigger. But then you could just practice the last 4 parts. Yeah, there it is there. So yeah, once you can start nailing that the V skill to the red fireball and the V trigger canceling, then on your own you could just practice those last 4 parts. So V skill, the uppercut, or sorry, the Tatsu, and then the uppercut into the critical art. Because I don't think, yeah, like I said, I don't think it works without that V trigger on. Yeah, he won't it doesn't seem like he'll cancel out of that into the uppercut without the V trigger on. Yeah, that's right. So that seems to be easier to do that way. Because you got to remember, like, just standing here practicing that, he's hitting him 3 times, but when you're actually doing the combo, I think he only hits once because Ryu's already in the air. So it's a bit of more of a just to practice your motions. So I'm just going to run through this one more time, see if I can get it, and if there's anything I pick up, if there's anything I can pick up that I do on this final try, I'll add it in. I'll add it into the comments, or I'll mention it. But for the most part, this one is just that finding that timing for how long you got to hold this and which strength you need to use of that one. So play around with that. You can go from light to medium to fierce depending on your own timing and your own. If you're using a pad, which I know the subscriber does, you know, moving those fingers, it's going to take some serious muscle memory. So I'll just give this one more try. Hopefully it won't take me too long. So there you go. So that's, yeah, I didn't notice anything different than what I've already told you. The key thing is just holding this down just long enough, finding the timing to where you can cancel into that fireball. And it's, if you can hold the medium, or if you can hold the V skill down until you're ready to do that, good. If not, you'll have to be very quick moving into it. And then finding that timing, that pacing, and then move over that V trigger as fast as you can. And then again, like I said, practice the first 5, and then once you've done that, then you can practice the other parts, the other 4, just for muscle memory. So I hope that's a big help. So it's all about those delaying, the pausing. It's not super fast timing. That's why I said earlier the pacing is weird, because the first crouch medium to that. Sorry, I guess that video ran a little long. I have to edit some out. So as I was saying, you're very quick to do this one, and then you have to slow it down for that. Then you have to slow down by pausing, and then pausing again. So there, it's really breaking up the pace, so it's not one speed. You're gonna have to tinker around with it. So anyways, I hope this video was a little bit helpful to the subscriber. Yeah, this one was frustrating, and I had a hard time breaking it down. So it's really a lot of muscle memory, but understanding the fireball speeds and that you have to pause at certain times. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I'll reply. If you have other video requests, please reply or put in the comments, and I will try to get to them when I can. And hopefully this will help some of you guys out there. Like the video if you just like it, if you found it useful. And yeah, have fun with this one. This one's going to be a grind for most people. It was a grind for me, even though I had completed it before, just to relearn the whole thing. So yeah, enjoy.